What's happening, everybody? Tyler Pyburn here with Kyle McNaught, 5 Tool Productions. This right now is another Create Smarter podcast. And today, Kyle, you and I are going to be talking about one of our absolute favorite things. That's college football.
Oh, yeah, buddy. You know it. I actually was very confused on what our favorite thing was going to be, so I'm excited it's college football.
No, there's a reason why we're talking about college football and basically how companies and organizations and schools can actually take a page out of the book of what's going on in college sports in general, not just college football, but college sports. So this kind of goes back to what's going on with Deion Sanders, one of my favorite guys. I know one of yours as well, Florida State boy. But Deion Sanders now just became the head coach of Colorado Buffaloes, right? And when he went there, he brought his own Lamborghini, brought his own Louis Vuitton bags, and had some of his new recruits take pictures, with that in the stadium, just showcasing the flash and all sorts of cool shoots and shots for them to go ahead and post on social media. Now, he's not the only person, the only school that's doing this. A ton of schools are doing this as well.
I mean, first of all, you got to love Deion somehow. Like, he was relevant in the 80s. These kids, that is what the 60s was to you and I.
Yep.
And somehow...
That's gross. I don't want to think about that.
The only one... Yeah, well, of course, we don't want to think about that. But, like, the bad boys of the 80s, like Miami, Florida State, all that kind of crazy stuff... These kids were 20 years from being born, and he's managed to stay relevant and stay interesting to kids that didn't see him play, didn't even see him play pros.
Have no idea who he is as far as a player.
They just know him as the bald guy that's very bombastic on SportsCenter, right? So it is nuts at how well he was able to kind of pivot and make it where he understood what they're looking for, which is their name, image, and likeness. Now, if you're a college football fan like we are, you've probably experienced name NIL, right? Everyone kind of gets mad
That's
about
what you're hearing. For the folks that don't understand, name, image, and likeness means that students are able to profit and use their name however they'd like to. Basically, if they wanted to go and get tattoos and trade ink for ink, you can, right? Little things like that. But before, you couldn't do that. This is something that's new within the last year.
Ask Reggie Bush. But the key is name, right? Because you think about it, the new generation that's coming up, their name has mattered because it's been their username, it's been their email, it's been everything that they've connected out into the world. So their name really is an important thing. What they also want to do is put out their kind of name, image, and likeness into the world. It's not just athletes, it is everywhere. Yep. I've had a ton of interns at different jobs. The previous 2 interns I had announced on LinkedIn that they are taking their summer to come over to our team and be a part of it. I'm there, they dropped a note saying, at this point, no more commitments. Now, all my other internships, I had to watch them, quote unquote, drop a note and be like, oh, cool, that intern's coming to us. Something that would have just been done via email in the past. It's something that, you would never think in your lifetime. I mean, you did an internship at Fox 25 up here in Boston. Did you announce it to the world?
You did, and that's the thing. You talk about commitment and you talk about announcement, right? The announcement. This was one of those things that we saw several years ago when LeBron James had an entire special that he was announcing the fact that he was leaving the Cleveland Cavaliers and going down to join Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh in Miami. He was taking his talents to South Beach was the direct line. But that's what we're seeing even on LinkedIn. When you change your company, it actually pops up and tells you, would you like to post this? I am so excited to let everybody know that I'm going to be moving on and joining XYZ team, right? When you joined 5 Tool Productions, that exact same thing popped up. You obviously tailored it and changed it up however you wanted, but everybody is making these types of announcements. So as opposed to just doing the standard, I'm joining this team, I'm going to this school, I'm going to this organization, and that's what you can be posting on LinkedIn. Take a page out of LeBron's book. Take a page out of Deion Sanders' book and what's going on with colleges across the country and say, give them something to post and to share that highlights how excited you are to have them. Not just, I can't wait for them to post on LinkedIn. Well, give them something to show that, I'm wearing the team colors. I'm wearing a 5 Tool Productions branded jacket, whatever it may be, just to showcase that, we're attracting some of the best talent out there, right?
Drop the graphics, right? Florida State, I go back into myself, but Florida State, we used to have really crappy graphics. At one point, they somehow put Florida State gloves on Martin Luther King. Really bad time for us. They've updated. They have a graphic design artist on their football staff. And you're like, what? It's because, like you said, it's how do you continue to kind of push out the look where we are, all that type of stuff. The only stuff I see on Twitter from recruits is the photo shoot they got to do.
Yep.
It's all that kind of graphics that you build off the photo shoot. But that's college sports. But you're seeing it seep into everything now, even like business, like B2B. You're seeing like you're doing accounting, but you still got like the cool photos and stuff like that.
It makes them feel good about themselves, right? So if they come in for an interview and they come in to say, hey, I'm going to accept this position in the C-level suite, right? Well, have a picture with them. Have some fun with it. Make it feel like an event. Make it feel like a real accomplishment, not that, oh, great, we're happy to hire this new CPA that's going to be joining the firm. And, yep, he's going to be doing some great work. Yes, that's tired and boring. Have a little fun with it and show the company's personality. And that's the thing that I really love. If you look at, not only just college football, but the UConn women's basketball team. I recently saw that they had something that the Georgia women's softball team did a photo shoot with their team as well, right? You can have these types of fun shoots no matter what school it is, no matter what department it is, and make it feel like they're special, right? Tell your employees that my team is special. Tell the general public that we care about our people. Look how great they are. That's how excited we are to have them join our team as well.
Well, the big why isn't just that. It's the reach, right? Like you have the high school athletes taking these photos because they're going to post them on Instagram. They're going to post them on Twitter. They're probably going to post something on TikTok. They're going to post it where other like-minded individuals that you want to attract to your organization are viewing it. And you're coming off as a, wow, look at that. That's amazing. From a business side, it's the same thing. You're putting out content that if you're sales or you're marketing and you don't want this on your, like every new customer or new employee that comes in has we'll say dope, but a really cool anything, something that like they can post out to their network. Yes, it might be small for some of the incoming, but even the people who've been around the block, like you and me with our grays, it still is something that, wow, like, wait, I know this person. I trust this person. They moved over to this company. They're putting out this amazing content. I might want to talk to them, or like, what are you doing now? Because like there's stuff that we work together that like I actually could use your services or your product. It is an easy win that right now, if you pay attention, like you're always dying for anyone to write a blog for your company or something like that. Make something cool that they actually want to share.
That's what I was just going to say, making something cool that they actually want to share. People, a lot of times as business owners, whether they're small or large, you want your team and you want your employees to go ahead out and say, I'm going to write this great blog post and I want everybody on my team to share it on their own personal channels, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever it may be. Be real, you name it. I want them to share it some way, somehow, right? But they don't do it. And it falls out because it's not about them. Yeah. They don't necessarily care about it the same way the CEO does, the marketing expert does. It's not about them. It's about the company, right? Unless you have some sort of tie-in that shows, here's why I care about the company, they're not going to. But if you then flip the script and change it and make the content about the employees and something that they would say, this is pretty cool. I'm in front of this big giant logo and they're touting the fact that I'm joining the team or that I did something great. You damn better believe I'm going to be sharing that, right? Like that's the important thing to remember. Make your company's content. Of course, you need to have white papers that explains what you do, how you can help other people. But if you want your employees to truly share your content, it has to be about them and it has to have some sort of mission driven behind it, right?
Well, it's a low-hanging fruit, right? Like you think about it. We go to a bar. One of our old mentors, our old bosses used to talk about. It's like, you go to a bar at Thanksgiving, you're talking to your old roommates, your old stuff. What are you talking about? It's not like, oh, I go to this company and they do this really cool product or anything. It's about what you actually do, or it's a clients you work for. Like it's the weirdest thing, but like it is about you. You're not going to go out and talk to people about like, it's really cool. My B2B like SaaS program does the like stuff that like I don't care.
If you are doing that, chances are your friends aren't listening, right? And they don't care, and they're not going to call you for the next time around at Thanksgiving.
Yeah. But that's the whole idea, right? It's what is really cool that I did. And it's also cool people I work with, right? I mean, that's the type of thing that we as humans brag about. It's going to be, what's this awesome project I did? Even think about the stuff we share into ourselves.
Yeah.
It's work we did, or it's locations we went to, or it's clients we worked with. Because those are things you actually want to brag about as a person. It's not like, oh, we're really like Five Tool. We're based off baseball principles and all this type of stuff. No offense, but like you're not going to see people talking about that.
No one's going to know about it. No one's really going to care. Right. But if we say, oh, so-and-so is joining the team and they're in front of a grass wall with a big, massive scoreboard that says, welcome to the team, Kyle. Welcome to the team, Tyler. That has a different feel to it. Now, again, not everybody's going to share it. No. But what we're seeing in college sports is the kids are sharing it. The parents are sharing it. The aunts and uncles are saying, look at my son, daughter, nephew is going to this school, right? And then you're spreading your tentacles. It's the same way. I don't care how old I am right now. I'm pretty old right now. For the folks out there that are watching, I'm old. If I do something and I share something about what I do, my mom and dad are still going to be sharing it, right? Because their sense of pride for their little boy, Tyler, has gone out and done something. So they are going to be sharing it and spreading the word. Versus if I just say, hey, here's a white paper I did, I'm not going to be sharing it. Right. My parents aren't going to be sharing it, right? Now, does that really help you at the end of the day? A little bit. But it does give you a little bit more brand awareness. It also shows that employees care about working for you and they want to spread that message a little bit more. You know, we used to go to a conference a while ago called, I can't even think of the name of it, but it was all about getting your employees to share social content. Yeah. And it was
that the one with Kodak, or what was the one that we used?
It was a different event sponsored by Gaggle Lamp. Amplify was the name of it. So it was all about amplifying your message. And you know, the event was awesome, but it was one of the things that I really liked about listening to some of the folks that were there. They'd say, well, every single time we'd try to get them to share stuff, our employees wouldn't do it. So they'd have to, one, either incentivize them to do it, whether that's a monetary deal where they had to, they were literally getting money, or they were getting a piece of swag, or they said what actually worked was making the content about them. So doing something as simple as making the content about the person, about the employee, they're more likely to share it. There you go. That's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah, I mean, for the audience too, it's a trusted source, right? Yep. As marketers, the biggest thing you're trying to do is become a trusted source from a brand point of view to your clients, your prospects, everyone, right? You can trust us. We're going to do this for you. We're going to do exactly what we said. You can trust that we have the knowledge and stuff like that. When you bring someone else in that they've already done all that hard work of making, hey, I know this person's a hard worker. I've done all this. Yes, on the business side, it takes making sure you're bringing in the right candidates, you're bringing in the right people and stuff. But if you do it correctly and you have you bring in candidates who have the right culture, they automatically to their network are saying, hey, I trust this product as well, as much as like if you trust me and you know what I'm into and I'm coming to work for these people, it matters. I can speak just from my personal experience, right? I did video for nonprofit. I did video for profit. Me coming to a production company really did immediately open doors because they'd worked with me in previous lives or other businesses. So hey, you came to this Five Tool production. There must be a reason because I know the work you were doing beforehand. This is really good. Now, if I'm able to push that out quicker and faster with stuff like video, image graphics, things like that, that just helps facilitate kind of quicker conversations in the sales mind.
What's really funny about this, we talk about the reasons why. Now, how to do it is really simple, right? You talked about a graphics department, right? Chances are you have a marketing person on your team. You have someone that does a little bit of Photoshop skills, but you don't necessarily have to have a massive photographer out there, right? A simple headshot and put some graphics behind it, right? Show the logo. Have them, wear some swag. Have a cool space in your office. I know everyone's remote now. Do something fun on Zoom if you wanted to, right? No, you could do a lot of different things. Doesn't have to be I'm shooting myself in the foot as someone that sells photography services and videography services. You don't have to go to that degree. You can have a simple headshot, some basic graphics around them that shows, hey, look how cool this is that we just hired this person, that we brought them on. Or let's celebrate this person's accomplishment, right? Like that goes a long way. More than just saying, yep, I'm going to post on LinkedIn. Take it another step, right? Raise the bar because everybody's seeing those announcement posts now, are getting notifications about those. Why not say, let them post a picture about it? Then that's going to stand out even more, right? Take that next step.
Yeah. I mean, I was doing it at one of my other businesses. We would, especially if anything kind of director level or came on, we would get headshots from them beforehand. I'd use Canva. I'd take out the background. I'd just do a simple stroke around there, something that looks cool. We get them a quote. I'm like, hey, can you give me like 2 sentences of why you're excited to be joining this so-and-so company? They do that. create a little splash graphic for them to post on LinkedIn, they would do that. There's other things I've heard too, like especially like for going to conferences is the same thing. Sales folks, take a picture of your headshot, do a quote about why you're excited to go to this conference, get a way to meet up. But it's that type of stuff of posting of you, right? It's posting that type of thing out there. That
Posting
is
you
interesting.
and why you're here and why you're excited. So it's a little bit about your brand, your business, your conference, whatever, but it's also about them. Make it about them because then they're going to be talking about you. So that's the kind of the end result. All right, Kyle, this was awesome. I love when it's short and sweet and to the point. So my final takeaway is just be more like Dion, right? At the end of the day, get your people excited to join you and give them something to promote on social so they can get your name out there a little bit more. What about you? Any last takeaways?
Don't be surprised if the next group of young professionals you bring to your business start posting, I like to announce I'm attending this this job. That blew my mind the first time it happened. Help them. Create a little graphics thing. Hey, take a picture for them. A lot of times it's something that they know about pushing out their name, but they don't know the business side of things that you can really help them and just create an immediately warm kind of embrace and situation where they feel like they're getting noticed. It's like, oh my gosh, this job all of a sudden really wants to post a picture of me. They want to have me announce stuff, and I've got the freedom to kind of post and whatnot, which is huge. You want them to be posting because it helps expand reach and it helps as trusted sources.
Think about this. I'm sorry, I was going to wrap it up, but I just you made me think of this. If they walk out of the HR department, right? Their first day, they're signing their W-2s, they're giving their paperwork. Here's where I want my direct deposit to go. And as they walk out of that HR department, there's a big giant logo right there. Say, hey, real quick, can I take a picture of you in front of the logo just with my phone? Do you want me to take one on your phone too? You better believe they're going to take that and post that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Something as simple as that is going to go a long way, and just you're going to see the benefits of, oh, this person has a social network. Yeah. They're going to be asking questions, and that's just simple brand awareness.
You spend $20 on LED light strips. Have that there. Create a fun little background with the logo. Take a picture with your phone, because your phone is going to take a better photo if you aren't a photographer. Just do that. Give it to them. Let them post. You're winning. And that's what, $20 you had to spend on just little simple background to, cool, I look awesome. It's a little better than just like, I'm in a cube. But that's it.
Business owners love their logos everywhere. So, of course, that's a great thing. Awesome. All right, I love it. Kyle is Kyle McNaught. I'm Tyler Byron. We're from 5 Tool Productions. Thank you all so much for tuning in. See you next time.
Bye.